How does this thing work? Okay, so let's talk about a leash. All right. Why do they exist? What do we use them for? Why do we even have them in the first place? And what is the reason for a 4 foot versus a 6 foot? I get so confused over that. So let's try to figure that one out while we're here. All right. So, first thing is, why do we need a leash? Well, a leash is important because we need them because, of all things, it's a safety thing for our dogs. All right. Safety is always the most important thing, and if you forget about that one, you're kind of missing the point. I see people all the time walking their dogs without a leash. It's actually against the law in the county that I live in. We have a leash law, and a lot of counties throughout the country. So you want to make sure you check with your local law enforcement and see if there is actually a leash law. But where I live, we have to have our dogs on a leash. And I see so many people without it. It's really frustrating. So, safety. So, what happens if you're walking your dog, you don't have your leash on your dog, and you're walking through a neighborhood and another dog comes running up to you and attacks your dog? What is that going to keep your dog safe? I mean, a leash is at least going to give you a little bit of protection. You can at least avoid a dog, you know, um, you can get between the dogs. I mean, there's so many things you can do. I mean, I'm just like, ugh. But at the end of the day, you have to have a leash on your dog. All right. So, lastly, what's the difference between a 4 foot and a 6 foot? Why? Why make them two different sizes? I'm going to tell you, I would rather it be a 3 foot and a 4 foot instead of a 4 foot and a 6 foot. All right. So, I brought my lucky Zoe leash over. All right. So, here's my Zoe leash. I've had this one forever. You've seen this before. This is a 6 foot leash. I mean, you can see how long it is. It goes for days. All right. And 9 times out of 10, when I was walking my dog, I would do this and wrap up a foot of that leash. What's the point? I don't need to. I don't need to wrap a foot up of my leash. If I literally just hold the leash, give a nice little butterfly right there, I don't need all this extra space. My arm is almost at the dog's head anyway. So the dog gets tripped up by the rest of this. So I would rather have a 3 foot leash, which then puts the class. So if this was a 3 foot leash, we'll bend it in half. Figure out the half. There we go. Walk my dog from here. Look, it's the same exact thing as what we had before. Same exact. So even though they're the same exact length, why do they make them in 4 and 6 foot leashes? Well, let me tell you why. A 4 foot leash is designed for actually a taller dog, less material for you to wrap around your hands. Whereas a 6 foot leash is meant for a smaller dog, more material to reach down to the lower to the ground. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know any dog that's head sits that high off the ground that you need a 6 foot or a 4 foot leash. Because if you have a large breed dog, they're going to sit at your waist or even your, thigh area, mid thigh. And you're looking at a dog that's 45 to 65 pounds, probably. And you probably just need the dog's head's probably the same height as your hand when you're walking. So you probably just need a 2 or 3 foot leash. So when you're out and about and you're trying to find the proper leashes, find something that's feasible for you and your pet. Retractable leashes, don't use them. They're not going to help you. I've said it before in other videos. Don't get a retractable leash. That's the laziest thing to do. And on the other part, you're teaching your dog a really bad behavior. Just get yourself a standard leash and go with your dog learning how to walk appropriately on a leash instead of trying to wrap this up around your hand. All right? Does that all make sense? I hope so. So just to bring this all together, all right, leashes, I usually use a 3 foot leash on my dogs. This was my first leash I ever bought, and you see it's huge. And it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. Stick with something you have much more control of. Stick with something that you're comfortable with, that's soft on your hands. All right. Stick with something that's going to fit your hands appropriately. All right. Don't go with something that just it looks cool, or it's leather, or this, that, or the other. I mean, yes, leather leashes are great. They're soft. It takes a little bit of time to get them that way. But something, along the lines like this, I would probably, now that I'm a little more experienced with dogs, I would find one of these and probably go with that length, about 2.5 feet, and that's about it. That's it. All right. So if you guys have any more questions, please hit me up. If you have any comments, concerns, anything you want to see me do, any videos you'd like, go ahead and add them to the comments below. If you've seen the secret code word, all right, go ahead, add that in the comments below. And don't forget, every Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here, we're going to have a live chat so we can sit and talk about your issues right now. Maybe I can get to the bottom of them and help you out right away. All right, I'll see you guys later. Everyone have a great night. Have a good week. And don't forget, as always, go walk your dog. There we go, that picture. There's the camera. Go walk your dog. So I bet you're going to know what the code word for today is. We're going to go with leash. Leash is the secret code word for today. Go ahead, enter that in the comment section below to be entered to win the giveaways every Sunday that I do in the live chat. All right, we'll see you then. Have a great week and good luck.